So Abdus Salam got the Nobel Prize in Physics for his contributions to the standard model of particle physics. And Abdus Salam was a scientist from Pakistan, and he had experienced the challenges of being able to do high-level research in Pakistan. And so he had a vision and an idea of creating a world-class institution where people who don't have access to being able to do high-level research could come to the institute and get access to those gaps, essentially. And so ICTP combines research with this unique vision, which really stems from Abdus Salam's vision to help build scientific capacity in the global south. And we are essentially an institution that is managed through a tripartite agreement between Italy, UNESCO, and the IAEA. So you heard a little bit about this, but basically what we do at ICTP is try to combine research, education, and international cooperation. I don't expect you to look at all the details here, but essentially we have a range of different events that are going on. I will get into a bit more details later on in my presentation, but this is just to give you kind of a bird's eye view, over the last, this was in 2022, we've had, let's say 7,000 visitors, 60 conferences, people from all over the world being represented. I will say more about all the different educational programs and outreach programs that are available through the ICTP. And an issue that continues to be a challenge and that we're trying to address, albeit moderately successfully, is the gender gap. And so we're about at a 30% of visitors, for example, who are female. But yeah, there's definitely more work to be done there. At the ICTP, so we are, let's say, a theoretical physics institute. The institute started off with the high energy cosmology and astroparticle physics section, which is, the area that Abdus Salam was in. And then over time, this has grown and developed into many other areas: condensed matter, statistical physics, which is where I'm at, mathematics, Earth systems physics, science, technology, and innovation. And in the last, it's now been, 10 years actually, 8, 9 years, there was a new section that was created called Quantitative Life Sciences, which is aimed at exploring kind of the boundary between physics and biology, or the study of the physics of life in some sense. And besides these sections, there are also other kind of initiatives in renewable energies. We have a master's in high performance computing and also in medical physics. Okay, this is not so important. I will go straight to this slide here, which is, I think, where I'll spend most of my time. We have a lot of programs here at ICTP, and these programs are designed to basically tackle, to reach to people at different career profiles, essentially. So we have things that's starting at the level of students. And so our, let's say, hallmark program is the postgraduate diploma program. So this is a 1-year, effectively a master's program, where students, about 10 from each section, the sections that I told you earlier on, come to the ICTP and they take coursework in, let's say, high energy physics, condensed matter physics, mathematics, and so forth. They spend a year at the ICTP, and then at the end of the last 3 months of their postgraduate diploma, they do a thesis work, and in that thesis work, from there, many of our students then get into, let's say, good PhD programs, or they go back home and become lecturers and so forth. So that's really been one of our hallmark programs that's aimed at filling in a knowledge gap in the backgrounds of younger students. Along with that, we have master's degrees. So this is we have as I think I mentioned, a master's in high performance computing, medical physics, master's in complex systems. These are, let's say, 1.5 to 2 year programs that one can also do at the ICTP. The master's in complex systems, I think, is actually a master's that involves students being in several places in Europe. So that's at the level of students. Then we have a whole range of programs for, let's say, going from junior researcher to mid-range researcher to senior researcher. So we have several PhD programs. So ICTP is not a university, so we cannot issue degrees, and we don't issue master's degrees or PhD degrees. So for the PhDs, we have PhDs hosted at the ICTP. We have PhD, let's say, agreements with CISA, which is a graduate school here in Trieste. We also have agreements with the University of Trieste. And so students can get into these joint PhD programs and then be jointly supervised, for example, with a supervisor from the ICTP or one of the local institutions. So that's a PhD for PhD students to come to ICTP. We also have something called the STEP program. So this is a sandwich training educational program, which allows for a student to be based in their home country. So they get their PhD in, for example, in Iran or in Afghanistan or in Kenya. And then they have the possibility to come to the ICTP for over a period of 3 years, for 3 months a year, 3 to 4 months. And that allows them to be embedded in an ecosystem where they have the possibility to interact with other people, the co-supervisor at ICTP. So these are more, let's say, junior researcher student in getting either master's or doctorate degrees. We then have other programs known as the associates program. So the associates program is can be at the level of junior, regular, and senior associates. And so associates are established researchers in their home countries who need, time every year to come to ICTP and kind of get a break from teaching, allow them to focus on their research, develop collaborations with people at the ICTP, but also have the possibility to travel, right, to other conferences, perhaps in Europe, or to meet other collaborators. And so depending on where one is at in seniority, one can have, ranging from junior to senior, and these last between 5 to 6 years, essentially. So we are, as I think I mentioned, a theory place, so we don't do really experiments, but we have a program known as TRIL. This is training and research in Italian laboratories in collaboration with the synchrotron facility here in Trieste. It's called the electrosynchrotron facility. So if you're an experimentalist and you want to do some experiments, there are possibilities of getting this TRIL fellowship that allow you to be placed at an Italian, let's say, experimental laboratory. I have to say that there are also theory people who sometimes also do joint experiment and theory, let's say, TRIL projects. Okay, I think I mentioned all this.
Sorry, Ali, can you get back a little bit on this? So I just wanted to mention that, like, for the students from Afghanistan specifically, which of these programs could actually work? Because they can go through almost all of them. However, because, for example, there is also STEP program, which is for PhD student. In Afghanistan, unfortunately, there is no right now any PhD program for a student to be able to come and join this kind of program. Maybe ICTP later on can open similar things for people who want to do their master's thesis or bachelor thesis. I don't know about this, and the rest of these programs, they apply, for example, postgraduate diploma program. I was also one of those Afghani students who applied and benefited from this program, also STEP program, and the master program also Afghan students can can apply for it. There are a lot of opportunities for different subjects that they can choose, and for junior, senior, and regular associates, there needs to be some sort of professors. They also apply for this while they are in Afghanistan, and try to find researchers in ICTP and connect with them and be able to benefit from kind of programs.
Yeah, no, yeah. Perfect. No, thank you. Thanks for filling in with those details. Yes. I forgot to mention that, of course, I mean, perhaps you know this already, but we have lots of schools and conferences and workshops yearly. Many of these are typically in person at the ICTP, or, well, they're hosted also in different parts of the world. And so I don't know how difficult it is, how travel and getting visas is to move.
Right now it's pretty difficult, because one of the opportunities for Afghan students is to go to Iran or Pakistan, but now because there's a strict visa for Afghan people, it's quite complicated, but I think it's still possible if they want to. So you can apply for many workshop conferences in ICTP. Keep an eye for the website of ICTP and try to find an appropriate program that fits.
What I can let's say a tip, if I can give all of you, is that we get many applications, and if you want to increase your chances, okay, besides making sure that you try to do the best scientifically and have good grades and all that, I think having a personal contact with someone always helps. So if you're interested in a particular school or conference, I don't know, let's say you're interested in something that I am organizing in machine learning related to condensed matter physics, then it's good to apply, but then it's also good to drop me an email, drop an organizing email, say, hey, I applied, this is where I'm from, I've met one of these conferences. Can you, I would really appreciate if you could, give my application a serious look. Okay, so having sending an email or making a personal contact with someone at the ICTP will not hurt. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, I think I've already said all this. These are, well, statistics of all the different programs. I already told you about the postgraduate diploma, and many students who come through this successfully end up in PhD programs or do other things, right? And so maybe this is another message that I can send out to you, is that doing a master's in physics or a PhD in physics doesn't mean that you have to continue to be an academic. There are many paths that are equally viable, and so just when you're thinking about your careers, these programs don't need to be tailored to only just becoming an academic. Okay. Okay. This is sort of the Masters in Medical Physics, another, let's say, very interesting program that has been extremely successful, and training medical physicists in a background that allows them then to get jobs, for example, in hospitals, for example, right? And so I think I already said enough about this. So this is the STEP program. These are just statistics on the STEP, and the joint PhD programs are with CISA. So this is the graduate program here in Trieste, and the University of Trieste. Associates program, those are statistics. And basically, I can just leave you with this slide, so that ICTP continues to have significant impact in different parts of the global south. And one of the new initiatives Okay, these numbers are definitely old. I know that Physics Without Frontiers has significantly had many, many, many more activities over the last 3 years at least. One initiative that I can just mention to you very quickly is that in the last, let's say, 10 years, there have been partner institutes that have been created. So there's a partner institute in Brazil, another one in Rwanda, and another one in China. And so the goal of these partner institutes is to try to, let's say, have an impact on at a more regional level and at a local level on communities. Okay, I think that's basically it, and I'm happy to take questions.
Thank you very much, Ali. Guys, you can unmute yourself or write your question in the chat. We can have a discussion with Ali.
Okay, I can see Sharif has a question.
Actually, I don't have a question. Mostly, I received some questions from the students how they are asking how we should know about the opportunities in ICTP. One of the ways is that to subscribe the newsletter of ICTP, and every month they will send you the funding opportunities, the schools, and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, this was just a small.
Yeah. So there's that. There is, of course, well, the obvious thing, which is the website. The other thing that I can maybe comment on, I'm not active on it myself, but I think there's an effort to move in that direction. There's something called the ICTP Global Portal. It's kind of an initiative now, like an online, the equivalent to ICTP social media, Facebook object, if you want to call it that. And I believe that there are many people part of the ICTP network who are a part of that, and there's a lot of advertising of activities going on through that channel. So that would be another place to take a look.
Okay, was there a question from Suzanne?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Dear Dr. Hassanali, thanks for your nice presentation. And I have a question about the postgraduate diploma of ICTP. Do we have for 2026 this program, and when it will announce? And if we have, do we have for quantum computational field or no?
Okay, so thanks for your question. So yes, every year we have the call opening. It will probably open up before the end of this year, and then the open call will continue till about March, April, and then the selections will take place between, let's say, May to June, April, May, June. So yes, just keep out. It'll be advertised widely on the website. Regarding quantum computation, we in the condensed matter group, we have essentially a subgroup that works in quantum information theory, and which has strong is the theoretical foundation of quantum computing. And yes, so there are people working in that area. We don't have a postgraduate diploma earmarked for that. The postgraduate diploma is meant to give you a foundational training in condensed matter physics. So, for example, many body physics, which is important for understanding quantum information theory, quantum computing, is taught. And then if you do well, for example, you could imagine doing a diploma thesis with someone in quantum computing. Yeah.
Thank you. I think we have one more question from Irfanullah, who has his hand up. Please go ahead.
Hello to everyone. Thank you, Mr. Ali, for your presentation, and it was wonderful, and you have given good information about ICTP to us. My question is about, actually this question is many times it comes in my mind, and I don't know how can I answer to this question. I am a student of semiconductor physics and I'm working on solar cells, and I just completed my master's here in Iran. But sometimes I think that for which opportunity of ICTP I can apply without those conferences or schools like these, I can apply to them. But without that, for which master's degree or for which PhD degree I can apply, because ICTP mostly accepted the student for particle physics, like for high energy physics or some other type of physics like neuroscience complex system. But I really didn't see that sometimes that ICTP can accept student for solar cell physics or semiconductor physics or like these things. But here I want to say that which opportunities can be fit for me in ICTP, or can I change my field actually for ICTP or not? Or for example, if I'm working on semiconductors, can I change it to the high energy physics, or can I change it to complex system that I could fit to the ICTP, or no? ICTP can accept me in semiconductor physics as well.
Okay, so this is a very interesting question and loaded with different layers. One is I think you should, in general, you should not change your line of research just because you want to try to fit into something. Okay, you should have like good reasons to do it, like scientific reasons to do it. The second point is that I think it is not true that ICTP only accepts people doing particle physics or energy. I mean, so we have at least two sections, actually three sections: condensed matter physics, quantitative life sciences, and solid earth physics that do a type of physics that's very different from high energy physics. And in fact, in the condensed matter group, we actually have people doing theory, electronic structure calculations for applications relevant for solar cells, renewable energy applications. And there are people who do semiconductor physics from the theory side. So, and we've had many conferences here at the ICTP in our section on batteries, the photophysics of solar cells. So they do exist. It depends a bit, if you are more on the experimental side rather than the theory side, the connection is certainly more challenging, because we are primarily a theory group. So yeah, I mean, now going to your question of, I think if you're interested in benefiting from or learning from or getting exposure to the activities of ICTP in the lines that you're interested in, the kind of thing that I would try to do is, we have, for example, many of our seminars in the condensed matter group are recorded. They're online. They're streamed sometimes. They're on Zoom. It might be beneficial for you to try to sign on to some of those online webinars that are in the topics of renewable energies, electronics, so you get a feeling of what is going on in the group, and to see if it makes sense to look at ICTP for a place that could have an opportunity. Now, ICTP doesn't do everything. In fact, we do a very small subset of research and research lines, and so it may be that ICTP is not the place that can give you what you need, and maybe ICTP or people at ICTP can help you identify where else there are resources and opportunities that are more tailored to what you are interested in.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you. And we're going to share with everyone the links to the ICTP website and the diploma, where the call is actually, I think, opening already, isn't it? And some of these webinars as well. And the ICTP global portal as well. That's in the chat.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ali. That was a wonderful.
Thanks a lot, Kate. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. And all the best with the conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ali. Okay, next on our agenda for today is we're going to talk to all